Good evening. It is Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Tea Room.com. It is June the 1st, 2026 at 7:44 p.m. And I wanted to give a little bit of astrological transits the coming 2 days. So the first thing I wanted to say about today, being June the 1st, we have Mercury in Cancer that went in at 7:56 a.m. and the moon will go into Capricorn at 9:19 p.m. Now, I want to make you aware of this Mercury and Cancer. There can be like communication about things having to do with mothering, things having to do with nurturing, things having to do with antiquities, and sometimes with our children. And then when we have that moon that goes into Capricorn, we're going to be dealing with more practicalities, things that, are down to earth, things that have to do with finances, making sure um, our responsibilities are taken care of. So tomorrow, June the 2nd, we have the first aspect, which is the moon quincunx Uranus, which means there'll be abrupt changes that could settle old patterns in people. So something might happen that would cause you to say, "Oh, I know what this is. This has happened before." And it might lead you back and trigger you back to something that has happened before, but it may not turn out like that. So, but it could unsettle you. And then the next aspect, we have the moon squaring Neptune. So you may not be as sound in your judgment as you normally are. So if you have a decision to make that's very important, you may want to postpone that decision until you're thinking a little bit more clearly uh, than you normally, would be at this time. So then we have the sun sextiling Saturn that leads to success if you're patient and steady with your efforts and these things are applied correctly, there will be success in what you're trying to do in your endeavors. Afterwards, we have the moon trining Mars. So it's an exciting and cheerful time, and that will be later in the evening for most of us. Then much later in the evening, we have the moon squaring Saturn, and that's a time to think more serious about things you may have been putting off and your goals and things that you want to accomplish. And then the last aspect for tomorrow, the second, um, will be the moon quincunx the sun, which is a time of self-examination and transformation. So that's going to take care of that. So on June the 3rd, we have a void of course that's late in the evening. So we pretty much are going to still be having that ruling Capricorn moon the whole day until 11:04 Eastern time PM. So the first aspect is going to be moon opposition Venus. So you may be extremely emotional to the point it's a bit excessive. And then we have Mercury squaring Neptune. So it's going to be very difficult for people who have addictive uh, personalities and escapist tendencies. And lastly, we have the moon in opposition of Jupiter. You may be extravagant at that time. And if it's by chance coupled with that um, Mercury squaring Neptune, you may wake up the next morning a little bit sadder and wiser. So be careful, because throwing caution to the wind after, doing a lot of recovery work because of one particular night is going to bring you back, to where you do not want to be. And it may be a little bit more difficult this time because of the placement of Neptune. All right. So I thought that I would do a little reading over the next 3 days. So just give me a second to do that. And I've got what's the tea because I might grab one of these to get a little bit more information. So I just want to know from tonight, Monday, June the 1st, until the 3rd, what does the collective conscious need to know? And that means all of us. So we may be emotionally walking away from some things that, you know, we'd rather not have to engage with. We don't have to engage with it. That's the thing. We do not have to engage with certain things. I think we've been brought up feeling we're obligated to have a response, but sometimes the response is no response. So we may be walking away from that and going our own path. And then it says we're going to need a little bit more time to process, a little bit more time to rest, a little bit more time to recover from whatever it is we've been going through. And then it's showing there is something that is going to be generous toward us, whether that be the universe and a surprise or being recognized in some way, but it's certainly showing good karma being something that is going to be playing out in a lot of our lives. What you put out, you get back. So then this is showing there is love, and this is the kind of love that is about caring for other people. I guess they call it agape love. And it is not the kind of attractive, passionate kind of like the Two of Cups is, but it's more, I want your well being. I want you to be happy. I want me to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. So it's opening up the heart a little bit. And this is showing there can be work, but it may be coming in small sums at this time, which can be concerning because, things aren't getting any cheaper these days. But do not fret because it is coming. It's just a little slow right now coming down the tube. And then it shows um something around animated energy. This can be an actual person, so he would be Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. I'm more inclined to say Leo energy. Lots of fun, very animated, a protector of his pride, which is, as we know, the group that king protects: family, friends, people that are under him, employees. Very protective person. And then here we have waiting to see what happens. What is going to happen? What I've put out, I'm just waiting to see how it comes back. So that's going to be something that requires patience. And here we have an intuitive energy, visionary, the ability to see through things that most people cannot. That can be an actual person, which would be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or it may just be the energy. And then here we have opportunity that could come, but it's going to have some kind of emotional pull at our heartstrings, along um, with the opportunity. And then here it shows what you've been waiting for, the movement that seems to have been stuck. It is now showing that it's starting to let up and allow things to start moving along. That Gemini energy has finally hit. We are out of the Taurus sun, and it is bringing that movement that we need. So I'm just going to ask on a spiritual level, uh, what is it we need to know? I think I'll use the true intentions. I love this deck. It is so much fun. Some of the things that it says, is helpful. So let me see here. All right. So what does collective need to know about how to handle things or people or situations over the next 3 days? What do we need to know to help us not be so gullible? check in. I want to catch up, make sure you're doing well, and see where we stand. That's a good one. Check in with people that you love. Check in with people that you want to know where you're at. And this one is called Big Favor. I'm looking for significant assistance and a large effort on your part. Keep your eyes on that one. Make sure if you're going to help somebody that they're going to help yourself too. Um, help their self too. And then we have empathy. I will provide emotional support and always try to understand you. These cards have been really good today. And that's nice coming from having that nice Sagittarius moon, full moon. And so anyway, I am Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Tea Room. You can book with me at my website, which is Miss MS Kim's with a S, tarotandtearoom.com. If you have any questions, you can also email me and I'll leave my information in the link below the video. Have a great day.